Yo, what's up guys, the Insane Game Freak here, and here to bring you kind of a different type of video. I feel like this is the one thing about the anime community that never seems to get addressed, even though everybody enjoys it. It's nothing that you have to be, that that has a, it's nothing that really alienates anybody. I mean, if you're an anime fan, you know what this is, and you love this. I mean, it's pretty much the whole. It's just as generalized as an anime fandom in itself. It's like if you like a certain amount of anime, you like this, and if you like at least one anime, you like these. And as you can see in the title of this video, it's about AMVs, or for those who don't know what that means, anime music videos. Now, AMVs I don't think are as popular as they used to be, but they're still. I mean, it isn't like people don't do AMVs anymore. It's just that AMVs have not. AMVs kind of took off around like somewhere around 07, 08, 09. It's kind of a good area where you kept seeing a fuck ton of AMVs. I don't think you started seeing really quality ones though until like the later years. Like recently, like within the last few years, they've been trying to like do the whole fucking Sony Vegas, Adobe After Effects to make these AMVs look awesome. But AMVs. I kind of just want to talk about my history of AMVs, maybe talk about the ones that they got me introduced. Because the one thing I love about AMVs is the AMVs is kind of the reason why I got into the different genres of music to begin with. I mean, anime music in itself got me into J-pop, whereas like AMVs got me into everything else. Because when I was younger, being an African American, I wasn't really exposed to anything but like rap and R&B, and that's what I was used to listening to. Until about my teenage years, I think around 2006, 2007, like around the time I started high school is when I started getting exposed to, because that was when I got back into my anime kick, and that's when I got into my whole, when you get back into anime and you get into AMVs, and that's kind of where it sparked, and a lot of the rock songs and a lot of the songs I listen to now literally come from those AMVs. I think the majority of the rock songs that are on my iPod come from these AMVs, and then some of these are like foreign songs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm kind of just gonna talk about some of the artists and some of the groups I've come to enjoy through AMVs, and if I remember the AMV in question, I'll mention that. The first one is ironically, I believe this is from Lord of the Rings, the Requiem for a Dream song, which I didn't realize was from Lord of the Rings. I was looking this thing up to save. I couldn't find the song to save my life. I heard this originally. A lot of these are gonna be One Piece AMVs because, as I said, One Piece was was the anime that kind of re-sparked my like anime phase, what you would call my anime phase or my anime mode. Requiem for a Dream, I saw that in the form of Brooks. It was either a Thriller Bark AMV or it was like a Brooks flashback AMV, because the AMV featured pretty much everything from Thriller Bark regarding Brook. Like his introduction, the fight with the spider monkey, right? His first fight and his second fight with Ryuma, all that. I'm not sure if it featured any of the Oz stuff, but that was like that first AMV. That was one of those AMVs. Like that was when I started hearing. That's kind of how I got into opera music in a little bit. Because granted, I think a lot of old school cartoons did that, like the Bob of Seville, if anyone remembers that. That was parodied so many times. There was a Woody Woodpecker parody of that. There was a Bugs Bunny parody of that. I think there might be one more, and I can't think of what it is. It might have been Tom and Jerry, actually. Those fucking piano-based cartoons that Tom and Jerry and Bugs Bunny did got me into the opera genre. Granted, I wouldn't say I'm a fucking an authority, but I did enjoy those songs. Another band I got into was Sum 41. Was it Hell Song? Over My Head. I'm trying to think of them from their titles and not actually what they're in, like the actual chorus of the song. There's a lot of Hell songs. There's a lot of not Hell songs. There's a lot of Sum 41 tracks. What is it? Down, 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 down. I can't think of the song, but I know that beat. And that was a Sanji. That was a Sanji AMV. One of the YouTubers I remember who did a lot of One Piece AMVs that I was really into was I believe his channel name was Luffy90, and he actually was one of my first introductions to the One Piece movies, because I didn't know One Piece had movies at the time, because in America up until that point we had like just started getting the Funimation stuff, and the only movie I had actually heard about was movie 8, even though at the time I didn't know it was movie 8, because movie 8 is just a retelling of Alabasta, which would make you think it's one of the early movies. Luffy 90 did, actually, Luffy 90 was one of the main reasons why I ended up getting into Coheed and Cambria. Coheed and Cambria? I never know how to pronounce this name, because I don't think I've ever heard anyone else pronounce the name of this band. Like, I never heard it. I usually just read the title. Over Your Dead Body, 10 Speed, and God's Blood, The Suffering. They used a lot of Coheed and Cambria songs for some of the later One Piece movie AMVs, like movie 7. They did like 2 sections. They did 2 sections of movie 7, which both used Coheed and Cambria music. I believe, was it movie 8 had an AMV, I heard, but I can't. No, that was actually how I got introduced to the His World track from Sonic the Hedgehog, because I never played the game. I never played Sonic 06, so I never actually heard that track before until someone used it for, like, they used like the speed, they used the quick version. I think they used Zebrahead's version for the One Piece movie 8, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. I heard, what is it, Skindred, through the Groggy Ring AMV I saw. They also did another one for, they also did another Skindred AMV with the Luffy versus Foxy fight. Breaking Benjamin, I was introduced to through the Zoro versus Hachi fight AMV. I believe the song is named Polymorphosis. I'm off the top of my head. Also, a lot of mixed tracks I got too. Like there's a good mashup between Drake's Over and Coldplay's Viva La Vida, and they mixed that together, and the AMV was a good Sanji and Brook AMV, and that shit was G. That shit was so G. Who else was I was introduced to a lot of people, actually. It's just some of them I don't remember off the top of my head easier than others. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if I can remember some of these. Even another Sum 41 was like, I Hope You Have It All. I don't think that's actually the name of the song, but I remember that for the Luffy vs. Lucci AMV I saw. Actually, let me go get my iPod. This will be easier. Oh yeah, Violent Pornography. That was one of those songs I was early introduced to. Oh yeah, and one of the songs I actually am currently listening to is Shattered, which I believe is a Luffy vs. Usopp AMV, which is really fucking addictive. I don't know if it's the song itself or just the combination of everything, but I fucking love that AMV. Another Usopp related AMV song I was introduced to was, I believe the dude's name is Billy Talent. The one song I remember hearing from him was the Sympathy song, which ironically fits Usopp perfectly because it's an Usopp AMV, and it's like, I don't need your sympathy, won't get the best of me, sympathy, your shit is killing me, sympathy, you always breaking me down. Fucking, there's a lot of tracks, and that's the one thing I always loved about AMVs. There's a cool one, I forget the name of the studio, like, they have, like, I know some of the newer AMV dudes, like, I think there was one named Black Star Studios, did this compilation of One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto, and the song is called, like, I think it's, like, Just Feeling. Oh, and there's another one, there's a really good one, there's a Naruto AMV I was really into, actually, Evanescence got me into a lot of Naruto AMVs, because the one I saw one for One Piece, and I saw one for Naruto. The one I saw for Naruto was the Choji versus Jirobo fight, and I think it's the Bring Me to Life AMV. And actually, I think, the other one, I forget the other Evanescence song I heard for One Piece movie 5, the Saga. Yeah, Zoro versus Saga, that fight. That's the one thing I just loved about AMVs. AMVs got me introduced to a lot of rock groups. I never really listened to rock on my own, but AMVs kind of introduced me to a lot of that type of music. To me, that's one of the other reasons why I love anime, because anime inspired AMVs, which inspired me to get into more rock songs, because I didn't just naturally run across this shit. As I said, being an African American and not really living in an open-minded family, I mean, for God's sakes, I'm like the only person in this house that really listens to fucking things like, ironically, another song I was introduced to through AMVs was Vanessa Carlton's 1,000 Miles, which ironically I got from a Pokemon movie AMV, which is the actually another song. I forget the artist's name, but Stuck. I heard that song as a Ash and Misty shipping video. There's just a lot of. That's the one thing I just want. I kind of just wanted to throw out these AMVs and just make a discussion. Like, what genres of music did you guys get into because of AMVs, and what songs do you love now because of hearing it on an AMV? Because a lot of the songs, a lot of the rock songs I listen to, a lot of non-rap R&B songs I listen to, I got from watching AMVs and me being like, I like this song, I'm gonna go get this song and be like, this shit sounds amazing. Oh yeah, there's one other rock group I want to mention that I mainly watched, I think, Naruto, One Piece, Pokemon, and yeah, I think it was just really those three in terms of AMVs. I didn't watch too many variety of AMVs. Like, I didn't go out of my way to listen to, like, watch specifically, like, Bleach AMVs, because I really wasn't into Bleach AMVs like that. But another one that I was introduced specifically through Naruto AMVs, which I believe it was pretty much both Naruto Sasuke fights, like the Shippuden ones and the one at the end of part 1. I was introduced to the band Crossfade, and I believe the songs I was introduced to were No Giving Up and So Far Away. Those two tracks, god damn it. I haven't actually gone on my way to grab whole albums to some of these guys, but just a lot of these bands I was introduced to through AMVs, and I just thought that was something I don't feel like people really talk about. People don't really talk about what songs you were introduced to through watching AMVs, because I don't care what kind of anime fan you are. If you like an anime show, you probably saw an AMV for it, and you probably were introduced to a song you didn't already know. Oh, I know which big one I'm fucking missing. I was introduced to Linkin Park through AMVs. Linkin Park and Fort Minor. That's bullshit. I did watch a few Bleach AMVs. I'm full of shit. Fort Minor is how, what is it called? The 10% luck, 20% skill, 50% concentration and power of will, 5% pleasure, 10% pain, and 10% pain, and 100% reason to remember. Yeah, remember the name. That is what I was introduced to through a Bleach AMV. Linkin Park, that was, in the end, Luffy versus Usopp. That was actually the first time I saw that fight, was through that AMV. Somewhere I Belong, Nobody's Listening, Breaking the Habit, a lot of their older songs I was introduced to through that. And I actually watched the Digimon AMV for Somewhere I Belong. I think it was from Digimon Tamers, Beelzemon, I think the name of that Digimon is. The one that's like tiny and was useless, but had like a really OP ass fucking evolution. It was ridiculous. There are just so many different AMVs for different series that I was introduced to. That got me introduced to a lot. Even I think Never Too Late by JoJo I heard. I can't remember the AMV I first found out about that song from, but I think a lot of the songs I was into, I'm into now, at least that aren't like rap and R&B, I got from AMVs, and I just thought that was cool. I thought that was something maybe we could, that should be a dialogue in itself. Like, people recommend some AMVs, maybe send me like a PM or something, or even do like your own video response telling me which songs did you get into through AMVs, because there's a lot of other ones I'm missing, but those are just the ones I can come up with the top of my head and me just scrolling through my iPod and looking at. I don't know why I did that when I had the iPod right here. Anyways, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I just thought this would be a cool idea to just share and just have a conversation about. So leave your thoughts. I'll probably link some annotations for some of my favorites that are still online, mind you, because, you know, the biggest problem with AMVs is that those motherfuckers were like the poster child of anime copyright, because, what was it? Every time you fucking found one, they would either get you for the footage you were using, or they would get you for the song itself. The fact that some of these AMVs are still up are remarkable. I think Luffy 90 uploaded like a lot of his older shit on his channel, which I'll link his channel if it's still up. I think it is. I think it's called like Luffy 90 X Odie or something. But yeah. One other song, Move by Dogfight. No. Dogfight by Move. I'm sorry. That was something I heard from One Piece movie 4 AMV. Just so many good shit, man. And Would You Be Impressed was one of the recent ones I found out about. I think it was like a year ago. I think I got Yokorama and J-Man into that one because I came back from like AWA from Atlanta, and fucking that was like featured in an AMV contest, and I was like, dude, I love this fucking song. But anyways, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. This has been the Insane Game for you. Last a game, play to win, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.